I'm Jim Ryan.
Okay, well, anyways, everyone's favorite video game showcase event is upon us. And even though some of these predictions might be a little bit easier than normal based off some teases and leaks from Microsoft themselves, let's see if we can still screw up our 10 predictions this year. Starting off, the easy one, Fable. They're gonna finally show it. We're gonna get a tentative release date of 2024, even though I still wouldn't be surprised if this was 2025, by the way. But I also believe, and more importantly, for the short term, I think a Fable collection is coming to kind of get people used to and introduced to this series. Personally, I just straight up think this was the game collection that Phil Spencer was talking about when he was doing that interview for Kinda Funny after the Game We Won't Talk About disaster. And that Fable collection will be releasing this fall, 2023. Next up, call me a masochist, but Starfield is going to be announced to have a 60 FPS mode, so we can all quit pretending like we care about that. But more importantly, I believe one of the 2 shadow drops that are going to happen at this show will be Todd Howard's mobile game that he talked about over on the Lex Friedman podcast way back when.
And we have a new mobile game that we're working on that we haven't announced yet that I'm in love with.
And you know, I actually am not sure if it even has anything to do with Starfield, so I guess we'll see on that one. By the way, the other shadow drop is going to be something Hi-Fi Rush related. I know there was a leak just recently about 10 new achievements on Steam for that game, so there will be some sort of expansion DLC type thing. Alright, and while Todd and Bethesda are busy working away trying to finish Starfield and then eventually move on to Elder Scrolls 6, the Fallout franchise is kind of lost and just forgotten at this point, and Microsoft cannot allow that to happen. So in comes my next prediction. In Exile, the creators of Wasteland 3 with that amazing game and that amazing engine itself are going to announce a Fallout game. Now, it makes sense, potentially based on their expertise for a Fallout Tactics type game, and I'm probably going to regret ignoring that one if it comes true, but I actually think they're going to announce a Fallout 1 remaster of sorts in first person. We've heard rumors that they're working on some sort of first person style game. I think this is it, and man would I be excited, because I don't think a lot of people got to experience the amazing stories that are in both Fallout 1 and 2. And I personally have not played either of these games, but I have gotten the story breakdowns of both of them, and man would I love to see these retold today. Next up, I can almost feel myself backtracking from this comment, but I'm going to stick with it for now. 2 parts for this one. Hellblade 2 is going to open the show, but not only that, it's also going to be announced for fall 2023, kicking off a crazy start of a show. My only concern here is this is one of the studios you want to make sure has this game completely polished, because there's high expectations for the quality here. But the other thing is, even though it sounds ridiculous to say this, fall and Microsoft's overall release schedule is starting to get a little jarbled up, I guess, because we still got Forza Motorsport and stuff that has to release. And you want to make sure we don't quote unquote blow our load too early here. We got to make sure we have a lot of games for next year as well. This being Q1 2024 could probably help with that, but I'm going to stick with fall 2023, November specifically. My next one is quick because I really have no idea what the heck is going on or what they're working on, but that's the point. Compulsion Games is here, and they finally show us what they're working on. For the minority of people on planet Earth who ever even played We Happy Few, there was potential there. It was a unique game with an interesting art style and a nice tone that was let down by budget concerns. Now that they have Daddy Microsoft funding them, let's see what they're capable of. I'm excited for this one. Speaking of exciting, GTA 5 Online proved that we all love a good heist, and we were teased a heist type game with Contraband. But it's been radio silent since that teaser trailer, so it is now time to not only give us a gameplay reveal, but also announce it's coming in 2024. This feels like a summer game. I think that would be a blast to play. Another, what feels like a pretty obvious showing is going to be Avowed. Unless there's been some massive issues behind the scenes, and we've heard some murmurings about this, it's finally time to reveal what in the heck the scope of this game is, because if you look online, people's expectations for this game are basically it's going to be an Elder Scrolls 6 killer, and I think that's going to be far from the truth. I'm super stoked for this game, and I cannot wait to see what it all is about. If I had to make a prediction on the release window, it feels like a spring to fall type 2024 game, but again, we haven't seen much of it, so who knows how far they are into it. I'll put it this way, if Hellblade does release November 2023, this is going to be the first big release for Xbox in 2024. That is, unless my next prediction, Stalker 2 is at the showcase and its release window is finally revealed as well. I'm pretty sure my fanboyism with this one is starting to show, but at this point, I just want to play this game so badly, honestly, and there's been so many reasons to root for these developers. I mean, honestly, between the war that they had to deal with, having to uplift their entire studio, to the constant hacking that keeps happening to them, this is a team that I just want to see successful, and for some reason, I'm still constantly holding on to the fact that they released that trailer at the beginning of the year that stated their game is still coming out in 2023. I feel confident in that, so I'm gonna stick with it. This is yet another example of I don't really know where this one fits. I'm going to say fall. I'm worried there's a slight concern that this game could end up having the Titanfall 2 effect that we all witnessed back in the day, where it releases in between larger titles and kind of gets forgotten by the mainstream, but the diehard fans will continue to support this one. Man, just looking back, if even half of what I've already predicted even shows up, this is already an amazing showcase, isn't it? If you've made it this far into the video, for starters, thank you. It really, really does mean a lot. If you would kindly like the video, that would mean the world to me as well. And then leave a comment below and let me know what is one outrageous prediction that you have for the show. I'd love to see if we match on anything, because I'm going to give you 2 here right now. So outrageous prediction number 1, Conker's Bad Fur Day shows up. I know, we keep hearing about Banjo and Kazooie, but I think Conker's the one that's actually going to happen. I can't seem to find the tweet, but I believe it was Aaron Greenberg on Twitter, subtly teased this a while ago. It could have been me looking into it too much, and if I could freaking find the tweet, it would be helpful to show you guys, but just trust me on this one. Now, this definitely isn't me saying that Banjo might not happen either, but Conker would be the one that would truly get me excited. Though I would definitely be concerned at how in the world they could actually even do that game in this era of gaming and social media. So I suppose at that point, I hope they don't have to castrate Conker to make it even available to release. My other outrageous one, and I feel like this is a no-brainer and I've been waiting for it to happen for a couple years now, let's finally get that Nintendo and Microsoft partnership going. I really believe it's time to get Game Pass over onto the Switch, and maybe more importantly the Switch 2 or whatever the heck they're gonna call the next system. Funny enough, the other half of this YouTube channel, my brother Michael, did a video kind of predicting what he thinks Nintendo's gonna do. So if you're interested in that, there's a link above. Now I know, I'm greedy, and Xbox Game Pass being on Switch is big enough of a win for Microsoft as a whole, but that being said, I would like there to be something that Nintendo has to give Microsoft. Just imagine if for like a short time, once a year, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate or a Mario Kart 8 style game jumps onto the Xbox ecosystem. Or, I mean, can you imagine achievements being available for games like that? Oh, man, why can't we live in that universe? That would be so awesome. Okay, but we are very quickly going down loony territory here. We're probably already there. So let's just wrap it up with a couple of Game Pass and third-party announcements. And actually, as I get into this, cover your ears for a moment here if you don't want a spoiler. But I suppose I could have cheated, made an easy prediction here for those of you who did not see this, but Atlas accidentally just kind of spilled the beans and announced that Persona 3 Reload is going to be coming. Early 2024, as a matter of fact. So, safe to say, somebody over there is in trouble. But regardless of that, this is a good thing, especially the fact that it's coming day 1 on Game Pass. That's a win for Xbox. Now, hopefully, whenever Persona 6 gets announced, we also see the Xbox logo on there. But speaking of Xbox logos, you know what? Screw it. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm just gonna say that we finally get it. Now that Rebirth is out in the open and we know that it's coming apparently early 2024, give us the old one. We don't even need Final Fantasy 16 apparently, just give us the original. Give us Final Fantasy VII. And you know what? Just to spite Xbox, have it released the literal exact same day that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out for PlayStation 5. Just why not? You know, at this point, speaking of long shots, Hollow Knight Silksong was announced last year at this showcase to be coming to Game Pass day 1. I know we just heard from Team Cherry recently here that it's been internally delayed a little bit, but I still think they're waiting to make that announcement at the Xbox showcase. Clearly Microsoft gave them some money, so just give us the release date already. Okay, so I've been kind of looking through the rest of the third-party releases for the rest of the year, and you know, honestly, I kind of think just as long as Xbox hits their target for what's supposed to come for the rest of the year, I'm not really sure we need a big-time Game Pass deal here. I really think Xbox just needs to let their first party shine. And though I do have some wild ideas in my head, maybe we'll talk about it down the line if this showcase doesn't live up to what I'm hoping it will be. And so with that, we're gonna wrap this one up. It's just a couple days away now. I'll be watching it alongside all the rest of you, and I will be definitely talking about my feelings on this once we see what unfolds. Just remember, like I've said before, high aspirations, low expectations. We can't be disappointed. See you all soon.